Why is it that so many men, when asked what they want in the bedroom, hesitate before answering? It's not because they don't know, it's because they've never been given the space to answer honestly. Behind the confident smiles and casual jokes lies something most people overlook, a deep craving not just for sex, but for connection. For many men, the bedroom is one of the only places where they can let their guard down, where they can stop performing and finally feel something. It's not just about release. It's about feeling seen, accepted, and understood. Physical intimacy, for a surprising number of men, is a doorway to emotional intimacy they struggle to find anywhere else. Imagine this: a man walks through his day being expected to stay composed, strong, rational. At work, with friends, even with family, there's little room to be vulnerable without risking judgment. But in the bedroom, even if he doesn't say it out loud, what he really wants is a moment of peace where he doesn't have to prove anything. He wants to be desired, not just for his performance, but for who he is when he isn't on. He wants to feel that someone is fully present with him, not checking out mentally or just going through the motions. And most of all, he wants to feel safe, not physically but emotionally, in a world that rarely lets him. This is the part no one talks about. That for men, sex isn't always about dominance or conquest. Sometimes it's the only language they know to ask for affection. Sometimes it's their only way to feel close, to feel important, to feel human. And when that desire is met with coldness or obligation, it doesn't just bruise their ego, it cuts deeper. It reinforces the message they've been taught their whole lives, that needing closeness makes them weak. But when it's met with warmth, attention, and real presence, everything changes. Because in that space, they're not just being touched. They're being understood, maybe for the first time in days, weeks, or even years. Ask most men what turns them on the most, and many won't say what you expect. It's not always lingerie or a perfect body or some wild fantasy. What catches their attention, what actually pulls them in, is confidence. The way someone moves without apology. The way she owns the space without needing permission. That spark in the eyes that says, "I'm here, and I want this too." You see, men notice energy far more than perfection. While society constantly throws flawless bodies and airbrushed skin at them, what lingers in their memory is how someone made them feel. And the truth is, confidence, real, raw, unfiltered, is magnetic. Many people don't realize how insecure men can be in the bedroom. They worry if they're doing enough, if they're doing it right, if they're wanted at all. And yet, ironically, many women worry about the exact same things. The difference is, men are taught to hide it. They're taught to perform, to lead, to always know what to do. But the reality is, most men would rather be with someone who's engaged and expressive than someone who's technically perfect but disconnected. They want laughter, eye contact, natural movements, not scripted performances. They want to feel like their partner is there because she wants to be, not because she feels like she has to be. It's not about looking a certain way, it's about being present. When a woman laughs mid-moment, or says what she wants, or even just breathes differently because she's caught up in it, that's what men remember. That's what draws them closer, because in that moment, it's real. And what men want, more than anything, is something real. Not a rehearsed role or a checklist of moves. They want to feel like both people are discovering the moment together, not just repeating something seen in a movie. When someone is fully in their body, when they're unapologetically themselves, that's when true chemistry happens. And for men, that kind of presence is not just attractive, it's addictive. Because it reminds them that this moment, right here, isn't just about bodies, it's about energy, honesty, and something they can't find anywhere else. There's a part of the conversation about men that almost never gets said out loud. The fact that many of them go through their entire lives initiating everything, from small talk to sex, without ever being pursued in return. And it might sound small, but it leaves a mark. Men are taught to chase, to impress, to make the first move. And while some wear that role proudly, deep down, many are quietly starving to feel wanted too, Not needed, not tolerated, not accepted out of obligation, but desired. There's a difference between someone letting you touch them and someone reaching for you first. Men may act like they're always ready, always in control, but behind that is a hope they often won't say out loud. That one day someone will surprise them by taking the lead, by grabbing their hand with intention, by whispering that they can't wait any longer. It's not about domination or flipping roles. It's about breaking the monotony of always having to be the one who pushes things forward. It's about feeling chosen, feeling like the object of desire, even if just for a few moments. Imagine what it does to a man's confidence when he doesn't always have to guess if his partner is into it. When someone looks at him with hunger, not hesitation. That look, the one that says, "I want you," is something many men rarely get to see directed at them. And when they do, it changes everything. It builds trust. It deepens emotional connection. It allows them to finally relax into the moment without carrying the pressure of performance. There's also a hidden tenderness in being pursued that few men ever experience. The hand on their chest, the kiss on the neck that wasn't expected, the moment where they realize they're not just giving, they're receiving. And in that shift, the balance between giving and taking becomes more equal, more human, more alive. That's what many men want, but don't know how to ask for. Not to stop initiating, but to sometimes be surprised. To feel like someone looked at them and said, "I can't wait to touch you." Not because they earned it, not because they begged for it, but because they were simply wanted. It's easy to assume that men are straightforward when it comes to what they want in bed, that they'll just say it, ask for it, or take it. But the truth is, many men are carrying around a heavy silence, desires they've never spoken, fantasies they've never shared, questions they've never asked, not because they don't want to, but because they're afraid of what might happen if they do. Rejection, shame, even judgment from someone they trust most. So they keep it to themselves, pushing it down, thinking, maybe it's better if I just stay quiet. For most men, being vulnerable in the bedroom is more terrifying than being naked. It's not the physical exposure, it's the emotional risk. Because in a world that tells them to always be confident, dominant, and certain, admitting that they want something different, softer, weirder, deeper, can feel like failure. So instead, they follow the script. They do what they think is expected. They try to please without asking to be pleased. They hide parts of themselves even in the one place meant for raw honesty. But what men really want is permission. Not permission to cross boundaries, but permission to speak freely. To say what they want without hearing laughter or disgust in return. To explore, not perform. To feel curiosity from their partner instead of judgment. When someone says, "Tell me what you like," and actually means it, when they listen with an open mind instead of a raised eyebrow, that's when trust begins to build. That's when men start to feel safe enough to be themselves, not just someone acting out a role. The bedroom can be the most honest space in a relationship, or it can be the most dishonest. And for men, the difference often comes down to how safe they feel to be real. Not just tough or skilled or impressive, but open, even awkward, even unsure. The moment they realize they won't be mocked or dismissed for their truth is the moment everything shifts. Because once they feel safe to be known, they start to show up fully, not just with their bodies, but with their hearts. And that, more than anything, is what turns intimacy into something unforgettable. There's a moment after everything, after the rush, the tension, the closeness, when the room goes quiet. And in that silence, something powerful happens. For many men, this is the part they crave most, though they may never say it. The soft touch after the storm, the hand that doesn't let go, the head resting on a chest, not out of duty, but out of presence. This is what's often missing, what they don't know how to ask for. Aftercare, softness, and the reassurance that it wasn't just physical, that it meant something, that they're not alone. Men are told to get up, clean off, move on. as if the end of sex means the end of feeling. But for a lot of them, that's when the real need begins, the need for closeness, comfort, and calm. Many don't just want to collapse in exhaustion. They want to be held, to talk, even a little, to laugh about something small, or just breathe together. Not because they're weak, but because they've been strong all day. And in that quiet, they can finally rest, not just their bodies, but their minds. This is where emotional bonding takes root, not just during, but after. It's where trust gets reinforced, where affection lingers, where connection deepens. When a partner stays present after, it tells him, you're not just wanted for what you gave. It says, you're still here, and I still want you, even now. That feeling of not being discarded, of being emotionally seen, sticks with men far longer than the physical sensations. Many men don't know how to ask for this. They'll stay silent, assuming it's not something they're supposed to need. But when it's offered, when a partner stays close, runs fingers through hair, or simply stays without rushing away, it speaks louder than any words. It says, you matter, not just in the heat, but in the quiet that follows. That's what many men want in the bedroom. Not just heat, not just pleasure, but presence. The kind that stays after the lights are off. The kind that makes them feel safe enough to close their eyes, knowing someone is still there when they open them again.